This is Dante Williams, and you're watching
Dante's
Boxing Nation.
This is Showtime Sean Portman.
Filipino Flash, Jesse Burns.
This is Al Bernstein. You're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Hi, I'm Sugar Ray.
Chick Shape.
Sergio the last name more.
Dante's Boxing Nation. Boom, 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 boom.
Yo, this is Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder,
My name is Gennady Golovkin.
and you're watching
Dante's Boxing Nation.
Hi, this is Julian Jackson, and this is Dante Boxing Nation.
This is Julia Jackson, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. All right?
To get dirty. I thank God for the grace to get in here tonight and fight, and take care of business. I always want to do better. Felt like I could have did better, and I'm going to be better. But as far as trying to explain myself and answer questions like, some of the things that they're talking about, I just refuse to get into it. It's not about them anymore. They've done a lot of talking leading up to this fight, and I told you guys that they can dominate the headlines leading up to the fight. We stayed quiet, right? I said, but Sunday morning, we want to dominate the headline. So they can go back up to the high altitude and keep breathing that good air and going to do what they're going to do. It's not about them anymore. It's about us. So, any questions?
Congratulations, Andre. Hey, Andre, congrats. I thought you looked very sharp tonight, and I know you don't want to. I know you don't have to respond to what they said, but Abel said, "quote that he doesn't give you even a slight chance right now, based on tonight."
Who made Abel the voice of boxing? That's what I've been trying to figure out for the past couple years.
I agree.
I'm just like, there's no disrespect to the man. I feel like he does a good job with his fighters, and I'll just leave it at that. But who gave him like the absolute authority to like speak on people, and not just me? I hear that guy talk about a lot of people in a disrespectful manner, as if they just on some pedestal or something. And they gotta stay humble, man.
Well, I know you don't want to get into a he said, she said thing, but how do you think you would fare against Sergey? He said what he thinks, that's fine. What do you think?
Man, God bless Abel Sanchez and his team. I wish him nothing but the best. How do I feel like I'll fare against Kovalev? I feel like I'm gonna win. And it's not gonna be an easy fight. He's a champion. And he deserves all the credit that he's gotten because he's not only fought everybody in the division, but he's gone to their hometown to do it. But you guys got to understand that I don't, as the fighter, the guy that's getting in the ring, I don't get caught up in who hits hard. And I was supposed to be the little guy tonight. And I didn't look like the little guy tonight. I don't get caught up in titles and he's from Cuba and he's from Russia. I don't get caught up in that. I've been doing this my whole life. I've been doing this 20 plus years. 20 plus years. So just like I've faced every other challenge, I would face the Kovalev challenge the same way. There's no fear on my end. I don't fear anybody. I respect fighters. He's a great fighter, and he's done some things that people haven't done. He's won on the road, and you got to respect that. But I don't look at it like you guys may look at it in terms of, oh my God, he's knocking. I just don't look at it like that. Because if I looked at it like that, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Andre, you gave yourself a B- out there at the ring. What did you like that you did in your first light heavyweight fight, and what do you need to do different or better?
I like that we showed that, that we're strong, plenty strong for this weight class. We showed the pop in this weight class. We just want to keep sharpening things up offensively, defensively, and but I have to give myself maybe a B- or so because with the stop and go, layoffs and different things like that. We had the same situation with Abel Rodriguez in 2013. He was the #1 contender. We fought Paul Smith, who had failed at two world titles against Arthur Abraham. He's a solid guy. And now we're fighting another #1 contender. So we're showing that even though we haven't been consistent per se, we can still come get the job done.
Hey, Ward.
You heard that tune-up fight, Andre?
Excuse me?
Who would you like to fight in the tune-up fight?
Man, I'm just trying to go enjoy some time with my family right now. I don't even know. I gotta, just reassess everything with my team, talk to them, and just see where they stand. Because all it's been about for me is, Sullivan Barrera.
Hey, Ward, you represented your country in the Olympics, won the gold medal. You represented your country in the Super Six, you won that. And now they ask you to step up out of your comfort zone to 175. You win your first fight there against the #1 contender. What does it take for an American fight to get the praise that he deserves? Because you were talking about the love that you get out in the UK, and it's beyond the love out here in the States.
You know what? It's I do have an opinion about that, but one thing I'm learning as a young man is that I don't always have to share my opinion. One thing that I'm constantly reminded of is, and I have to take myself back to it. And some may understand it, and some may not, and that's okay. Is that whether people give me credit or whether people don't give me credit, God has blessed me with the talent and the gift. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm doing this for Him. And then behind that comes my family. And in the midst of that, some people gonna love me and praise me and give me the respect I deserve. And then it's gonna be that element where they don't. But I gotta fight to stay in the middle. I can't get too caught up in the praises, and I can't get too caught up in the criticism. My team came back and was like, oh, they're not, they're tearing your performance down tonight. Man, it's okay. And at 32 years old, I'm maturing to that point where it's okay. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like my style. You don't have to like my personality. But I do know that I'm authentic and I'm real. I try to give the fans, I try to give the network that I fight for, I try to give everybody all I have. But some people are not always going to like what you represent. There's a lot of cameras in here. Some people like your website, some people don't. You know what I'm saying? Some people like the way you write, some people don't. But you got to keep writing, right? You got to keep covering the sport, right? So that's what I try to. I don't always get it right. I'm not saying I've mastered it, but that's where I try to fight to stay in that place where it's look like, man, I feel like I should get this, but you know what? It's not about that.
A lot of people have you as the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Now you're up there. You're #1.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've dropped me to #4 or something like that, and it's tough to say, man. I mean, of course, you always think maybe you're #1, but I'm just trying to get, I'm trying to get to a position where I leave no doubt. Because right now it's an argument. They can throw the layoffs at me, and they may have an argument with that. They can throw the inconsistency, and it's hard to argue with that because guys have been more consistent, but my motivation is to leave it to where there's no doubt, where they can't take the #1 spot. And if I can do that, man, that's my goal.
There's been some confusion on your HBO contract of whether or not the fight that you had to pull out of earlier in the year, of whether that actually counted as fight #1 and this would count as fight #2, or if your fight later in the year would be fight #3 on your HBO contract. Has that been resolved, or is that still?
Yeah, personally, I try to just keep the business behind closed doors. I don't even know who put that out there, and it's a great question. But I personally try to leave that kind of stuff just for Peter Nelson, my team, Rock Nation, James Prince, and my lawyer Josh Dubin. I let them work that stuff out. And if somebody talks about it publicly, so be it. But I try not to get into it publicly because, personally, I think that's just kind of behind closed doors.
Ward, it's your job to fight as a fighter, but what was going through your mind when the ref deducted a point? A lot of people press row thought it was ridiculous.
Man, that was a tough one. The referee's a great ref, and but I was surprised. I mean, I think the shot was.
Did you get a warning?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, the shot was borderline. I mean, I think I hit him on the belt, and he reacted. It was a hard shot, and I guess on the cup line, I guess that's low, right?
They showed a replay. It didn't look.
It didn't look low at all?
No.
Or was it borderline?
It didn't look like
It was low?
It did not look low.
Yeah, but I think
I got a picture.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Some of you guys say no, and some of y'all say yeah. See?
There was a late hit after the bell.
Can we answer that real quick? I'm sorry. So I was surprised that I didn't get a warning.
Me too.
I was shocked about that, but I still don't know why I didn't get a warning. But
that leads into my question. Did you get a warning when there was that slightly late hit after the bell?
Yeah, that was my fault. I let that go, and it wasn't intentional. I was in the heat of the moment. And I apologize, and that was on me.
So there's a possibility that warning could have led into with the low blow that could have been why they.
Yeah, but it's two different infractions, from what I understand.
Yeah,
but I had to just I got upset, and I just had to just bring it down.
Bobby, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.